welcome to this bookshelf. I'm Ariel Roshi, and today I'm going to be interviewing Megan Mascenik. And so I'm going to ask her a bunch of awesome questions. I hope you're there to see it. And well, I better go and get ready. So hi, well, thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you. I'm excited to talk about the book today.
Me too. So my first question is, what inspired you to write this book?
Well, I just daydream a lot of my ideas a lot of the time, and this one probably was from high school history class. So I didn't pay a lot of attention to that one. So I thought it would be really fun to explore the idea of maybe one day you time traveled and you'd have to convince your parents that it was you and you were really their kid from the future. So it eventually turned into an entire story because I like the idea so much.
That sounds amazing. So, what gave you the idea for the characters Joely Reese and her siblings?
So I needed a reason why she would want to time travel. And I thought that maybe felt like her parents didn't notice her or that her siblings got on her nerves a lot. So that's what drove her to make the birthday wish, which is the magical method that sent her back in time.
Okay. So, I have annoying siblings too. Did you have any annoying siblings growing up as well?
Well, I just had one sister and she wasn't overly annoying. She just got on my nerves, the normal amount, I would say. So I had to try to make her siblings like a little more annoying that would get on her nerves pretty frequently and make her so frustrated she would want to make this wish. And especially on your birthday, you don't want your siblings ruining things.
Exactly. So, are there any interesting or memorable experiences from your own life that influenced some of the sections of the book?
Well, I used to camp in Maine in the summer.
Hmm?
So that is what made me choose Maine as a setting. It was kind of like an homage to my friend who introduced me to that place camping. And she
Okay.
loved Rennie's, which is a super fun store. It's kind of like a Big Lots, but better with more stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a great place. So my love of Maine came through in this book. And let's see, my sliding glass door really was broken in the same way that Reese's was, where you had to lift it up and slide it. So that's one of those small things I put in there. But mostly it was just from my imagination. It wasn't a lot of my real life.
Was it just all your imagination, or did you have to do some researching?
Just for things here and there, if I got a little confused about how a certain thing worked, or if I had an idea, but I wanted to make it kind of like real life, I might research something small like that.
Well, I like made up books a lot because those make me daydream, and then I have so many other ideas that are mixed up with other books.
Oh, that sounds fun. Yeah, those are the best because then you don't have to
Yeah.
worry about if you're right or not. You can just decide that your world works a certain way.
So, can you tell us about the process of writing the book? So, did you have like a bunch of ideas that you just wrote down as soon as you can?
Well, it kind of just unfolded slowly. The way that I wrote at the time that I made this story, which was probably like 10 or 12 years ago now, um, just uh, give me the first part of it. And then I would think, okay, what next? It was just every little bit to make the story go along. I didn't that I did was just make character profiles. I'm not sure if you've ever used those in your own writing, but it's like, what's your character's favorite thing? How do they look? What are their fears? The characters.
That makes a lot of sense. Thanks for that. So, did you face any challenges while writing this book? And if you did, then how did you
Yeah, you're
overcome
welcome.
them?
Well, you might have noticed that I said I wrote it about 10 to 12 years ago. So some of my biggest challenges were just going to college, doing all of that work, having a job, which stopped me from writing. Then I had children. So all of those things really take up a lot of your time. And the way that this book got published is that my daughter found the notebook where I had printed my first draft, and she wanted me to read it aloud to her. And she and my son, who's a little young for the story, but he actually really liked it too. They loved it so much that, especially my daughter, wanted a copy. So I decided that I would just use some of my old sketches from my book for the cover art and then put it all together and print it on Amazon for her. And we'll just see how it does.
Well, I think after it came out, it was amazing.
Oh, thank you so much. What was your favorite part?
My favorite part, it was the part when the funny part that I found was like when the juice fruit punch, it all fell on her face.
Yeah, my kids like that
But then
part too.
like, but when she like woke up on the and then she found that random guy, I was so creeped out.
Yeah, that would be really, really weird to wake up in someone else's house and he thinks it's his house. Good thing she didn't say anything.
Good, really good.
Worked out smoothly for Reese.
Yeah, I think it did. And this book, I think it's working very smoothly too.
Oh, thank you. Well, I was so happy to see your video review the other day. It just makes me glad that kids are enjoying it. That's what I really wanted.
So, what message or theme do you hope young readers get from that book?
Well, be careful what you wish for, I suppose, and appreciate your life as much as possible, even though there were some things that changed for Reese. So you can always get a little bit of improvement, which leads me to the other thing. She did mention some of those issues to her parents when they were teenagers, and it seems like they really listened to her. And if you notice, there were some small changes when she came back to the future, and
Yeah,
her family worked
like
a lot.
how she liked the slip and slide water thing.
Yeah, and it seemed like her mom was a little more relaxed and everyone got along a bit better. And she understood her baby sister more and didn't get so frustrated by her. So the other message, I guess, would be if you communicate really well with your family and everybody's listening, then you can make good changes in your family.
I think that's an awesome lesson to learn.
Thank you.
So, if you could give one piece of advice to kids who want to become authors, what would it be?
Well, probably the most important thing you can do is just read a lot and write a lot. You just have to keep practicing and then see how other people do things in their own stories. That is my biggest curiosity when I read. If I see an intriguing idea, I want to know, okay, how did they do that?
So, did you always want to be an author, or did you want to be something else as a child?
Well, I went through a few ideas like a lot of kids do. There was astronomer when I was really into stars. I wanted to be an Egyptologist after I saw this movie called The Mummy. That seemed like it would be really fun. That did not pan out.
Yeah.
I ended up being a teacher, but I really would have liked to just get a creative writing degree and go into writing. But that is a little bit of a challenging field to just
That
jump
is.
into and rely on. So the teacher was my safe bet. And I was a teacher for a few years before I stayed home with my kids.
I think that sounds really, really nice. So, if you could go back in time and see your own parents as teenagers, what do you think they would be doing? What do you expect from them to be doing?
Well, my mom liked to go to concerts a lot and she played basketball. So maybe she'd be doing one of those things. Based on the stories my dad told me, maybe he'd be blowing stuff up with his brothers because a lot of his stories were really questionable.
So, what do you like to do for fun?
Well, lots of things. So my kids and I do lots of adventures. I homeschool them, but we don't really stay at home. We go hiking and we go to the science center and theme parks and we go places with our friends. Let's see. I also like to do swimming, biking, pretty much a lot of different things.
I think that means that you are very social.
I try to be whenever I can.
So, if your book characters were made into real people, then who, as a real person, who would cast like the main characters?
I was thinking about this question, and I think I would want to find people who are not already famous.
That is actually pretty good because like those people don't have phone calls ringing, signatures all around them. You wouldn't even be able to see a single hair.
Yeah, and I just think sometimes really famous people don't necessarily fit all the roles, and you want to see a new face. So I don't even know who's like a famous 7-year old to play Joely Reese right now. So this would be a great opportunity to go and scout new people out and find a good actress.
That's awesome because like everyone gets a chance then. So if your book characters were real people, Pretend we're in book character world where everything is real and you got stuck in.
Okay.
Who would you invite to a dinner party at your house and why?
I would probably invite Reese because I want to hear more of the details that she didn't already tell me when I wrote the book about her journey through time. Because of course, that's interesting.
Have you ever found yourself acting out a scene from your book while writing, complete with dramatic gestures and like sound effects?
No, I didn't know that that was a thing that people did until your question list mentioned it. But I do see things pretty vividly in my head when I'm imagining them.
Yeah, you know, it would be pretty embarrassing if like someone like walked in on you when you were doing it.
That would be. So I'm glad I'm not
Like
one of
they
those
would be
people.
like, "What on earth are you doing?"
Yeah, like people who rehearse speeches out loud before they give them, but way worse because you're doing a lot more stuff.
Yeah, that's true. So, are you planning to write more books?
Yes, but I don't know if I'm going to write necessarily a Joely Reese book.
Is just plain wonderful.
I'm glad that you're so happy. Maybe you could be the first reader of my other book that I was telling you about.
Be the first reader for all your books if you want.
Oh, thank you. I will definitely keep you on my list.
But you know, probably your children should read it first. Because I think that they have a pretty good like sense of if the book is good or not. Which I'm pretty sure all yours are good.
Oh, thank you. It's so nice of you to say that. Yeah, my daughter is so
Absolutely.
excited to possibly read the book. She wants to read everything. She tells me what I should write. She should be my manager one day.
Yeah, that's true. So it was awesome talking with you. Thank you so much for your time. Anyway, bye. See you next time.